All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about Gary's hero, his favorite senator, the man who puts chicken in chickening out, Josh Hawley.
Power to the people, man.
Exactly. Wait, you're storming the Capitol?
But you know, those are the two images I will forever have of Josh Hawley.
Chickens are very funny when they run. Yeah. Little dinosaurs.
It's like my dinosaur dance.
Anyway, exactly. Hey, you know what? August 2nd is Tariff Day, and Josh Hawley's trying to be reactive to that, or proactive, as the case may be.
Yeah, so I was in meetings all day today. Literally, I got home half an hour ago. It's 8:15 Pacific time. Is it still Tuesday? Tuesday the 29th.
Yes, it is Tuesday the 29th.
Yeah, so completely out of the news loop. And then the two things I get are tsunami warnings for the West Coast, because there was this huge earthquake off of Russia, 8.7,
8.8 earthquake off of Russia. That'll do it. That'll give you a tsunami warning. That's a big, monstrous earthquake.
Oh, yeah, it is. What was Loma Prieta? Was that
7.0?
7? That was 7.0?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
so, and earthquakes are logarithmic. The Richter scale is logarithmic. So, an 8.0 is 10 times stronger than a 7.0. A 9.0, which this one almost is 100 times stronger. So this is about 80 to 90% stronger than the Loma Prieta earthquake.
Well, that would only be 2 times.
I'm sorry, 80 to 90 times stronger.
Yes, thank you.
80 times. God, I can't get the math right. I know what it is. I just can't get the words out.
So I just got another alert from the San Mateo County Advisory. Tsunami advisory is in effect for coastal San Mateo County, but no evacuation. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, you want to drive to the coast tonight and watch the waves come in?
That's I had that thought.
Well, don't you want to see how far the tide goes out before the wave comes?
If the tide goes way out, you get the hell out of the waves. Yeah. That wave's going to be big.
You get your butt up Highway 92 really quick.
That's right. So just for those of you who may not have been reading the news like me, our hero, Senator Josh Hawley, has decided.
What's this our business? He's your hero.
I was being sarcastic.
I wasn't.
He introduced some legislation on Monday to provide tariff rebate checks of at least $600 per adult and child to American families, kind of like the stimulus checks we got for COVID. Because here's the quote. Like President Trump proposed, my legislation would allow hardworking Americans to benefit from the wealth that Trump's tariffs are returning to this country. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all, those tariffs were taxes that were paid by American businesses whose costs went up and are ultimately being paid for by the American consumer. So there was no wealth introduced to the country. He just taxed everybody. And now he's returning the taxes to you.
To certain people.
There's no magic to this. And Dave was commenting that people were really kind of going wild in the comments, flaming.
Yeah. Basically, somewhere. Oh, you mean the tariffs that we're not paying that the other countries pay? It's like, because the implication is that people are paying these tariffs, they need tax relief from it. And then other folks, one person, hey, I've got a wild idea. How about you cancel the tariff so you don't have to enact this policy?
Exactly.
Just make it simple. Get rid of the tariff, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. It's just nuts.
I mean, it's right up there with the $5,000 checks we were all going to get when Elon cut $2 trillion from in government waste. And
that was the other point you made was I thought these tariffs were supposed to, offset the costs of this big, beautiful bill. And, it was supposed to be invested in infrastructure and other things.
Right.
It's just the only people that are going to fall for this are MAGA people that don't want to think. It's like free money. Trump's my hero.
Well, it's the same thing like with Elon. The minute somebody was hearing, the rumor was going around, oh, we're going to get $5,000 checks. And the rumor was based on if Elon saved $2 trillion, certainly they could put 20% of that, like $400 billion or whatever. Let's see, $400 billion divided by, 100 million people or white males or whatever it was going to be.
Exactly, right.
And it was going to be, $5,000 a person. And it's kind of like what makes you think they're going to give you checks for $5,000? What in God's name makes you think that's going to happen? But you know what? The thought that they could have $5,000 in their back pocket makes them do stupid stuff. And this is basically putting $2,400 in people's pockets if they have a family of 4? It's for every person, or is it just
it was a minimum of $600? I was trying to do the math on that.
Was that per person, or was that?
A minimum of $600 per man, woman, and child in a family.
Oh wow! See, there you go.
So, and there was
what's going to happen for those welfare queens with their no jobs and their 23 kids? They're going to be raking in the do-re-mi. I can't imagine MAGA is going to be okay with that.
I know all the brown skinned people clearly gaining, all this tariff relief money that should be going to white Christian men.
Without my pearls, what am I supposed to clutch? I don't even have a fainting couch in here. It'd be a fainting crash on the floor. Maybe the cats will attack me.
We should probably start a reading on this.
I suppose. Why? Why? When we're just having some fun at Josh Hawley's expense? Because sorry, I should have given you a warning before blasting you with a chicken call. For some of you, it's at like 12:07 a.m.
Okay, so let's take a look at the energy around these big, beautiful tariff rebate checks.
By the way, I want to applaud you for your dedication after getting up at 4 a.m. and it's now 8:30 at night, and you're still chugging away for the cause of good people to make fun of Josh Hawley. It's something that ain't ever going to happen.
Okay, so let's look at the energy around Josh Hawley's tariff rebates here. What do we need to know about this? Oh boy, here we go. Okay, 9 of Swords. So these tariffs have been a real double-edged sword nightmare situation, because there's a lot of people. The people that understand the tariffs understand what bullshit this is. The second part is that Trump keeps saying these tariffs going to generate all this big, beautiful negotiated deals, and what's he gotten about four or five
trade deals?
Yeah, it's just been a nightmare situation. It's just, and what it's causing is it's causing alliances amongst foreign countries. They're just like, okay, well, maybe we don't really need to rely on the United States quite as much as we used to. So, and there you go. And there's your alliances. The challenge to this is that in the background, people are starting making deals. They're forming their own trade groups.
And what do you think is going to happen if these tariffs go into effect and people get upset?
Oh my God!
That could also be, you got to do something because the economy is going to crash. You put these tariffs in there, inflationary. Oh, that's a bad thing. And then justice card underneath it. You're going to reap what you sow, my friend.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, because a lot of those tariffs have kind of been delayed. So the consumer hasn't been feeling the full weight of this. All they hear is that Trump's enacted tariffs, but they're not seeing any price changes to speak of.
Right.
They're about to.
Yep. And, I think Trump is done chickening out. So he got under his skin. So now he's going to be a tough guy.
Yeah. So the energy underneath it is justice. It's just in its own way, because you're just giving the money back to the people that you punished. I mean, that's kind of that whole, it's not quite a Robin Hood. You're not taking from the rich and giving to the poor. You're taking from the poor and then giving it back to them.
Right. Well, to be fair, the rich will buy some stuff too, and they won't see that money.
Yeah. In the past,
they'll have to sob with their massive tax cut.
They don't make sobs anymore, do they?
No, I guess no, they don't. Sadly.
In the past, you had the Nine of Pentacles. This was all the money that these tariffs were going to bring into the United States that Trump was going to use for Infrastructure Day and investments, if you will, and how, everyone was going to get wealthy because of these tariffs, because it was going to make life better for everybody. At least that was the messaging. Mm-hmm. The current situation is judgment. People waking up, because slowly, except for the real diehard MAGAs, slowly people are starting to understand what these tariffs are and what their impact is. The judgment can also be that there's been a couple of trade deals that have been made, but for the most part, people are just saying, we're going to ignore those trade deals. You know what? Go ahead. We're standing up for what we believe in, which is we don't necessarily need to trade with you. Overarching energy, a lot of major arcana come in here. Overarching energy is temperance. It's the energy around these tariffs, trying to find that balance, a leverage to get a more favorable trade agreement, but not punish the American consumer who ultimately pays the tariff. I think what this is this is just Trump and Holly trying to buy some time to negotiate more trade deals, to avoid the consumer backlash from this, because everyone's going to be focused on the shiny prize of this check, and maybe that'll deflect their attention away from the fact that they're paying more for their automobiles and everything else that they purchase that's not manufactured in the United States with American parts. The lesson to be learned is the Hermit. They're just trying to find some way forward from this decision, from these tariffs decision. They've kind of painted themselves into a corner, and they're looking for a way out.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And the outcome is the Death card. Is it the end of the tariffs? It kind of feels like it's this. They're trying to. So I'm looking at the energy of these checks. They're just trying to put an end to. Maybe it's just trying to put an end to the pushback that they're getting, that these tariffs are punishing the American consumer. That they're trying to end that, kill that argument. I wish it was more they were just going to kill the tariffs, because that's ultimately what I would like it to be. But I don't know if I get that feeling from the rest of this reading.
Well, I think it's it's for the elections coming up. It's to defang the worst parts of it, because you can say, "Oh, you're trying to kill a Democratic talking point, which is the tariffs are inflationary and it's killing the economy." And maybe that's it. We want to do something to not kill the economy, but we're giving the money back. The economy's fine. It's Democrats that don't want this type of thing. They're the ones who don't care about you.
Well, maybe the Death card is signaling the outcome is going to be the economy's still going to suffer from this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the news I really want to share, but it's funny because there was an article I saw earlier today where all of a sudden these analysts from Bank of America are all bullish on Trump's tariffs, thinking that it's going to be the stock market and the economy are going to go booming because all these great trade deals. They're kind of a contrarian style analysis. I don't know. This is going to be a pretty pivotal week, because they're going to have a whole bunch of data's coming out on consumer confidence and the Fed and probably inflation. So if the economy shrinks again, we're officially in a recession. So
yeah, that's a quarter.
So this could be a way to try and deflect attention from it.
So what potential benefit of these tariffs, or the threats of these tariffs? During COVID, when the supply chains were all wonky, corporations seemed to use that as a great excuse to raise prices but never lower them back down once the supply chains got reconnected.
Yep.
So now if you hit them with a tariff, they might say, we rode the gravy train for a while. If we just absorb the tariff, well, it'll be great PR for us. And, we can absorb the tariff for a while and then maybe raise the prices slowly. But if the tariffs get removed, then they can't just, they're not going to want to drop their prices because they're going to be like, oh no, the tariffs are gone. It's almost like they'd be forced to remove it because people are assuming that the price is already baked in. So it could be a way to reset the overinflated prices that that companies are charging, especially if people stop buying their products until they reduce the prices to something that people can afford.
Well, to your point, yeah, companies jacked up their prices and they used supply chain as their main excuse. And then, of course, the supply chain issues got resolved and they never retreated on the prices. There's on the commercial on the radio where Nissan recognizes the impacts of tariffs and they're rolling back prices, on existing stock of Nissans. And I'm thinking, yeah, the reason why you could roll back the prices is because you jacked the MSRP on all those damn cars, and now nobody wants them. I got a little bug flying around me.
Yeah, and Nissan's in bad shape. And their merger deal with Honda just fell through. So
did it? Oh man,
yeah, they're in bad shape.
Yeah. Be careful if you're buying Nissans because they may not be an ongoing concern, or someone's going to buy them out.
Right. Okay. So I want to find out: will this Josh Hawley bill get any traction? Is this going? Is this going anywhere, or is this just theatrics for theatrics' sake? Is this bill going anywhere? Okay, it's Knight of Pentacles. There's going to be a discussion about moving it forward, reaching out, trying to get partisanship. Underneath the High Priestess, I think some people think it's a good idea, to be honest. I think they're like, yeah, this is a good idea. We can work with you on this one. Bipartisan support type of thing. Yeah, in the past. And I think there's some concern that the economy is going to go dark, and by putting money back in the economy, you're going to stimulate the economy. There looks like there's going to be bipartisan support for this, at least initially. It might see the light of day. People have strong feelings about this. They'll probably pressure Congress to do this. Outcome is the Hanged Man. Ouch. Okay. What's that? That's either, does the bill get then, everybody wants it, then it gets killed. It's like this, then it gets vetoed by Trump type thing. Is that what happens? Secrets and lunacy. It's almost like they get it, and then Trump suddenly figures out what a veto is. And then torpedoes it. I mean, it could be that it turns the economy on its ear, or this is the start of the oligarchs always scream about wealth redistribution. You're just taking money from us and giving it to unworthy maggots, and that's not fair. And kind of that's what this is doing, is that you're taking money that people spend and you're giving it back to them, but the wealthier you are, the less you're going to get back, to the point where you get nothing back, although you may pay as much, if not more, in tariffs. And whatever. The outcome is going to be unusual. Again, this could be like one of Trump's few vetoes. No, you're not getting rid of my tariffs, my big, beautiful tariffs.
So what do we need? So clarification, what do we need to know about the Hangman on Dave's reading and the Death card on my reading? Okay, so Six of Wands, we're going to declare a victory.
Mm-hmm.
That's there. Okay, there's no surprise there. But the challenge is there's going to be actions moving forward. That it's probably what it is there's stuff moving forward that would be completely moving against the grain of a victory. Which is probably the Hangman, where declare a victory, but it's like, if this is a victory, I hate to see what a defeat looks like.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, underneath it all is the Empress. the abundance of the United States. Pregnant women. I always read this as abundance. Like there's more than enough for everybody here. In the past, you got the Queen of Wands. A lot of actions being taken. Current energy is the Six of Swords, moving out of these troubled waters and trying to get to a safe haven, if you will. Overarching energy is sorrow, Five of Cups. So I'm beginning to think he's going to claim this as a victory, but it's like the economy has really gone to hell, and people are starting to recognize that.
Yeah, maybe you get your $2,000 stimulus check, but it doesn't matter because you're bankrupt.
Yeah, you're unemployed.
There's a Band-Aid for that bullet wound you got there.
Yeah, the lesson to be learned is the Ten of Wands. It was just you put too much of a burden on the economy.
Hard times
on the consumer. And then you got a choice. Two of Swords. You got a choice on this. It's I think what I'm getting from this is the Hangman of the Death card is you've put too much of a burden on the economy and the consumer, and both are going to, even though you're going to claim this is going to go through and you're going to claim victory, the damage is already done. Yeah. People will actually feel it. It's just like, it's kind of like spitting on a fish, if you will. Trying to come with
all my analogies involve people being shot. It's like going in for surgery and they give you an Advil for pain. They don't put you under. Here's some Advil. Here's a bullet for you to bite on. This is going to suck. But the Advil is going to help with the pain a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. Oh well, it's something, but you're attacking the problem the wrong way. Get rid of the tariffs, and then you don't have to do any of this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. How about being nice to people and negotiating? He may get some short-term victories with this hardball approach, but in the long term, you're just going to piss people off and ruin your chances for a long-term relationship, because your short-term relationship is based on bullying and intimidation.
Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yes, and if you like Josh Hawley, give us a thumbs up. No, don't do that. if you think Josh Hawley's as big a moron as Trump is, give us a thumbs up.
Gary's hero, Josh Hawley.
Leave a comment. I'm going to get a lot of Josh Hawley comments, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and if you anyways, and we do things a little bit differently around here. Not only do we sing Josh Hawley's praises when he's praiseworthy, which is never.
We do chicken sounds when Josh Hawley shows up.
And we do chicken call shout outs for people.
So how about a proper shout out to Carbon 270, also known as McQ 270.
King of Coins.
And then how about Paula Eaton, who's talking about all the protests back in the 60s?
Don't take Paula to Chick-fil-A with you. She'll dip in your sauce when you're not looking.
Oh my goodness. And
terrible. You should be ashamed.
And then Sasuke 81A, Aston Bryan. Now there's a name, but you got to take a run and jump on that one. I know. I hope I didn't butcher that name too badly there.
This is when she found out the Colonel's secret recipe of 31 spices isn't really a thing.
Well, okay, and then the card for the rest of us, we got the Ace of Pentacles. Hey, you may be getting some money getting your way soon. This big gold coin it'll probably have a picture of Trump's face on it.
It won't offset the inflationary prices that you pay, but hey, if you want to pretend it does, good job.
It'll be like those tokens you get, where you go to take your dog to get a dog wash. You pay like $20 and they give you a brass token, and then you can put the token in the machine to get your dog washed. It'll be Trump's rebate check will be a big gold coin with his face on it, redeemable for True Social stock or some Trump NFT.
No, you could buy shares of his meme coin to
there you
his
go.
consulting company.
Maybe
it'll come in the form of tax credits. So if you're paying tax, you get some credits back.
Oh my god! A free round of golf with Bedminster or something. Don't worry, he'll keep the money in his own pocket.
He'll figure out a way.
All right, that's what I got.
All right, take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye.